This is lesson 1.2, solving equations with the distributive property. So before we start actually solving equations, we need to look at the distributive property and understand exactly what it means to distribute. So distribute is just another name for multiplying across parentheses. So you take the coefficient, the one that's in front of the parentheses, and you multiply it to everything on the inside. So you take 3 times b, and then you take 3 times f plus 3 times s. Now when the coefficient on the outside is negative, you want to make sure that you are taking that negative times everything also. So we're going to take negative 2 times x plus negative 2, and I'm putting that in parentheses, times negative 3, because anytime you have negatives in the middle, you're going to put them in parentheses, plus negative 2 times y. So negative 2x, negative 2 times a negative 3 is a positive 6, and plus a negative 2y could just be written minus 2y. So distributive property just means multiply by all of the terms inside the parentheses. Now sometimes you get expressions where you have like terms. They are all the same variable. So I use a highlighter or I put a box around them to indicate that they are the same. So this is a 3x plus a 5x. 3x plus 5x is 7. How about 8? Why I can't count today. 8x equals 8x. And if the same thing equals the same thing, this would be all solutions. So we learned about that at the end of the notes last time. So if you have the same thing equal to the same thing, it's all solutions. Okay, so this time let's check out some like terms. So we have a 2x, we have a negative 1x, and on this side of the equation, that's all we have. So 2x minus 1x is 1x, plus 2y equals x plus 2y. We have the same thing, because this has invisible 1, 2. We have the same thing equals the same thing. So that's all solutions, or we also called it infinitely many solutions. Okay, so let's look again. We have a 3x and we have a negative 5x. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2x. We also have a positive 4xy and a positive 3xy. So even though there are two variables, they're the same, so we call them like terms. So 4 plus 3 is 7xy. Okay, on this one, we have distributive property first. So 12 times x plus 12 times 3 minus 5x. So let's take care of the middle first. 12x plus 12 times 3 is 36 minus 5x. We have like terms of 12x, like terms of negative 5x. So 12 minus 5 is 7x plus 36. So that one used some like terms and distributive property both. Now notice on these I did not solve for y, because on this one and this one there are no equal signs. So if there's no equal sign, you don't solve, you just simplify. So this says simplify the expression. Doesn't have an equal sign. So we're going to find our like terms. So here's a b squared, and here's a b squared. So there's a 1 before that one. 1b squared plus 2b squared, 3b squared. You only add the coefficients. You do not do anything with the variables. And then I have a b, but I don't have another b, so we just write that down. And I have a number, but I don't have another number to add it to, so I write it down. Okay, so on this one, I have a 6a squared. I don't have any other a squareds, so I write it down. Then I have a 7a minus a 2a, so that's a plus 5a, because remember, there's invisible plus sign before that. And then I have a 4 that doesn't have anything to add it to. Okay, so notice on both of these, I started with the highest exponent. So the first one had a b squared, this one had an a squared. Then I moved to the variable with no exponent, and then I moved to the constant. That's called descending order, and you want to make sure that you write it in descending order. Okay, so in this one, we have to distribute first. So we're going to take 2 times 3x plus 2 times a negative y, and then bring this down, plus 5x. So that's 6x, 2 times the negative y is negative 2i, plus 5x. Like terms, we have 6x plus 5x, 11x, minus 2y because it doesn't have anything. Okay, so that one said simplify for those last three. This says solve. Solve happens when you have an equal sign. So you have left side, right side. And we don't have anything yet that we can do over here. So we're going to just write it down again. But we're going to distribute. 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times a negative 4 is a negative 12. Bring down the negative 10x. Now we have like terms. We only deal with like terms on one side. So we're going to deal with the right side. 15x minus 10x. So you have 5x plus 5 equals 5x minus 12. Subtract 5x from both sides, letters to the left. That becomes 0. That becomes 0. And you are left with 5 equals negative 12, which isn't true. And if it isn't true, we say no solution. Okay, I'm going to work one more of these. And then we're going to jump down to the word problem, so we have time to do them. Okay, so left side, right side, distribute. 3 times 2b is 6b. 3 times a negative 1 is a negative 3. Bring down the negative 7, and we don't have anything to do over here. Okay, so like terms, we have a negative 3 and a negative 7. Both of them do not have a variable. So 6b minus 10 equals 6b minus 10. Now you could go ahead and do letters to the left, but you should be able to look at this right now and realize that you have the same thing on both sides. And when you have the same thing on both sides, you can call it all solutions or infinitely many solutions. Okay, I know I skipped that last problem. That's okay. we are going to talk about one type of problem you'll see on your homework or on your practice called consecutive integers. So the word consecutive means in order. So if I asked you for 3 consecutive integers, you could say 3, 4, 5. You could say 12, 13, 14. Any of those are consecutive numbers. And if this one starts at x, to get from 12 to 13, you have to add 1. And to get from 12 to 14, you have to add 2. So if we're wanting the sum means add, 3 consecutive integers, we use x plus 1, and x plus 2 to indicate consecutive integers. Is means equals. So the sum, the first one plus the second one plus the third one is 372. The question says, what are the integers? So we need to find x plus 1, and x plus 2. So we need to add our like terms. X plus x is 3x. 1 plus 2 is 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. I'm going to have to write it over here. 3x equals 369. Divide by 3. It becomes invisible 1. X equals 123. What are the integers? That indicates that you have more than one answer. It asked for 3. So we said the first one is 123. That makes the next one 124. And the last one 125. 3 consecutive integers. Okay, another type of problem that you will see is this one. So the Surface Pro is $799. So a Surface Pro costs $799. You've saved $300 and you get paid $15 an hour. How many hours will you have to work so you have enough money to buy the Surface Pro 3? Show your linear model. That means an equation. A linear model means an equation or an inequality, but in this case we're going to write an equation. So let's start with the Surface Pro. It's $799. The money that we have and the money we will get paid has to equal that. So we've saved $300 plus we will get $15 each hour for mowing. That's your linear model. This is actually your first answer. Then you need to solve that problem. So subtract 300 from both sides. So that's $5.99 equals 15H. How about $4.99? I think that would be better. $4.99. We subtract 300 from both sides. Then we need to take 499 divided by 15. And you get 33.26 repeating. Or if we rounded it, 0.27. So we need to work 33.27 hours of mowing your neighbor's lawn to have enough to buy the Surface Pro. Okay, so that takes you to your assignment. Remember, you can do the odd ones to practice. Make sure you check the answers. They are on my school website.